I snooped on my wife's phone and found out she lied about a work meeting. Now I suspect she was with a former male coworker. Am I wrong for confronting her about it? I caught my wife lying about having a late meeting after work, and it seems she was instead with a former male coworker. For the last couple months she has been texting with her coworker often. It has mostly been about drama at her previous work, but I still find it suspicious that she stays in such close touch with him. They text almost every day. He used to give her a ride to work from the train station a few times each week, as he lived nearby the train station. A few weeks ago I decided to look through her texts. In one message he asked when she ended her work on Tuesdays, and he told her when his work ended. They planned a meeting for 3 days after our wedding. I was extra suspicious then, so I turned on the timeline feature of Google Maps on her phone, which maintains a map of where she goes. A day before the day they were planning to meet, she told me she would have a late meeting at work and asked if I could take her daughter to an after-school activity. The day following their scheduled meeting, I checked her phone when she was in the shower, and sure enough, she was never at her work that evening. She took a train to a nearby town where she used to work and had been there for a few hours. He lives in this town. I realize I invaded her privacy by looking through her messages, by making her phone track her location, and by checking her location history. But I had a bad feeling, and my intuition was right. She did in fact lie to me about her location, and then, based on her conversation, I assumed she met with her former coworker just 3 days after we married. She has always told me she has nothing to hide and that I can use her phone anytime. Maybe I am being too controlling. Of course, we are two independent people with individual lives, and we don't have to give each other details of everywhere we go and everything we do. But she did tell me she was going to a work meeting, yet she did not go, so to me, that is a lie. And assuming she visited her former coworker, this was planned. I mean, if I told her I was going to go work in a cafe, and then I instead took a train to a nearby town, then met with a female friend, I would think she would feel insecure if she found out. Ida for snooping? Should I confront her? If so, how? Maybe ask her to show me her location history? I doubt she knows about the timeline feature. Next story.
Am I wrong for turning my wedding dress into a cosplay costume, even though my cousin asked if she could have it for her wedding? I told her no because I had other plans for it, but now the whole family is upset with me, saying I ruined her special day. I, 27F, am an avid cosplayer, my girlfriend, 28Fen, and I go to all conventions we can, and have a lot of fun making our costumes together and prepping for the year. 3 months ago, I, my girlfriend, and my cousin, 30F, went around charity shops, looking for pieces we could turn into cosplays. My cousin isn't a cosplayer, but she tagged along as she likes a good bargain hunt. In the third shop we went to, we found in the window an old school wedding dress. It had a few stains and minor rips, but all in all was in good condition. My girlfriend and I joked with my cousin that she should buy it for her wedding, but she turned her nose up at it, stating she wanted brand new, and she'd not be caught dead in an old-fashioned dress. We let it go, and my girlfriend was the one to point out to me, if we did some alterations, it'd be a perfect dupe for Sarah's ball gown in Jim Henson's Labyrinth, which is our favorite movie. I realized she was right and asked her if she wanted to make this our next major matching costume. She agreed. For the convention season of 2025, we will be Jareth and Sarah. I bought the dress and my cousin made a few jokes about it, but we heard nothing back from her. Not until 2 days ago. I've been posting progress of my dress on social media, and it's finally done and looks amazing. My cousin told me she'd not found a dress she likes and I've done wonders with this dress, that she'd changed her mind and she'd be happy to meet the price I'd paid, about $150, and even throw in an extra approx $100 for my time fixing it up. I laughed and asked if she was joking. She told me she was deadly serious, and I told her that wasn't happening. This led to a fight, and I was getting annoyed. My girlfriend took the phone at this point and told her she had her chance to get the dress, and that it's a cosplay now, not a wedding dress. We've since been bombarded by my family trying to get in contact, some pleading, some trying to cajole, and others straight up berating us for not letting my cousin buy the dress, or even better yet, being a good cousin and gifting it to her. That I shouldn't turn a charity shop wedding dress into a costume, as it stopped brides who really needed it having it. I'm getting stressed and upset with this, and my girlfriend is currently fielding any calls we get and telling them off for upsetting me. She's a wonder, and I am so grateful to have her with me for this. Aita, though, I am starting to worry because of the widespread reaction. This is the first time I've bought a wedding dress to convert like this, but it was already damaged and I've brought it back to life. Surely it's better than it being ignored like it was?
Next story.
Boyfriend chose a friend's wedding over my family's lake house vacation. Now I'm considering making him miss it, and he's angry. 25F and BF 27. We started dating in early 2023. I live in a different state than my parents. The state our lake house is in is almost in the middle of where I live and my parents and brother live. My parents both travel a lot with work, so I don't see them very often. In 2 weekends, my parents asked if my BF and I would like to go to our lake house for the weekend with them, my brother and his wife, my niece and my grandparents. This will be the first time since before my BF and I were dating that we will all be together like this. Now, why was it a wedding? My boyfriend has a friend from college who is getting married that weekend. I've only met this friend once and I don't think my BF has seen him much since college. I don't think they're that close. Let me preface this by saying I kind of feel bad for him. When they got engaged, my beef told me about it and was going on about how great of a wedding it's going to be. After a few months go by, it turns out my beef was not invited to the wedding, which isn't small, 150 guests. He found out through a friend who was. Recently, like a month and a half ago, the friend reached out to my BF and invited us to the after party. So after the wedding and reception, this after party is not the reception. They have a bus to a bar where some people from the reception will go. This party will be from 112. He's over the moon and wants us to go. I think we should go to the lake house because this is a rare opportunity. I might be an a-hole because we heard about the wedding first. Splitting up is possible, but I want him to be there and he wants me to be there.
Next story.
Boyfriend of 7 years asked me one question that shattered our entire relationship. Now I'm leaving him and walking away from everything we built together. I 25F have been dating my BF 27M for 7 years. And I'm about to end it because of a stupid question he asked me. Like 2 days ago, we were chilling at his place, and out of nowhere, he asked me if I could ever raise someone else's child. I was confused since I'm child-free, and so is he, so I said that he knows I don't even want kids of my own. He clarified that he means if I'd ever raise and accept a kid that my partner would have in an affair. Honestly, I was speechless. I don't even know what I was feeling in that moment. Anger, confusion. I think I stayed there in silence for a few minutes before he tried to justify and say that the hypothetical child is not at fault in this situation. At that point, I was starting to get angry and asked him if he's trying to tell me something. He got mad at me and asked me how I could even assume he'd do something like this and that it was just an innocent question. I started to feel like throwing up, so I just left his place. I haven't left my place since then. He has tried to reach out and I assume told our mutual friends about what happened because some of them too have been reaching out and telling me to hear him out. I haven't replied to anyone. I just feel so drained and mad. He went from again trying to say that the child is innocent to saying he's sorry to telling me I'm overreacting and so on. I don't think I've calmed yet entirely, and maybe I will regret this when I will get back to my senses, but I decided to break up with him. I don't think I can ever fully trust him after this, even if this question was indeed innocent. He knows my family's history with cheating. He knows I lost my grandpa because he made some bad decisions after his wife cheated on him. He knows my grandma has been abused her entire life by a cheating man. He knows all of this, so I don't understand why he'd think it was okay to ask me this. Even if I am in fact overreacting, this question planted some ugly thoughts into my mind that I don't think I can get rid of. I'm gonna throw down the drain a 7 years old, pretty much perfect relationship because of a stupid question.